Dun dun da 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 da. The calendar. We're going to talk about the calendar. So I hope you all have the calendar in front of you. Actually, I should write it on the board behind me. Can you see that? Oh, the calendar. Okay. So I want to talk about this document right here, which is the calendar of important events, September, October 2013, U.S. government and politics. See that? Okay, there. That's what we're talking about. Okay, so when we were kind of all sitting around doing our planning, which we do as a group of government teachers, the new teachers like me, were saying how there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of events coming up, especially starting with the 27th and the 30th. For you guys on the 30th, so it says the 27th on your calendar, so it says 27th A-Day, but because you guys are a D-Day group, you need to be looking at the dates that are on the 30th. So you're going to hand your papers in on the 30th. So that's the day you're handing yours in, okay? But I want you to look at the information that's written under the 27th, because that's the information that you guys are going to want to pay attention to. Because when you hand your papers in on Monday, that starts a process that is going to last for several weeks, in which we have this sort of domino effect of things sort of happening in fairly rapid succession that are really going to impact each other. And it was, for me, I was sort of trying to get my brain wrapped around it, and I thought, I bet my students are trying to get their brains wrapped around it too. So in an effort to keep you guys in line and hopefully help you have a lot of success in the next couple of weeks, this calendar sort of lays out for you the things that are coming. So the first thing is, on Monday, the 30th, is Party Declaration Day. So it shouldn't surprise you that that's Party Declaration Day, because that's the day that you guys are going to turn in your party profile sheets. So you're turning in your profile papers. You have determined at that point what party you're going to associate with. And this is a really important day. You are going to come into class that day. You are going to be filling out, I'm going to give you actually, well, the first thing you'll do is you'll hand in your papers, okay? So they'll be all pretty and done and everything's ready. Then I'm going to hand out to each person in class a small little slip of paper. And on that slip of paper, you're going to write your name, and you're going to actually write the party that you're declaring. And then you're going to put a couple of other pieces of information. Then as a class, we are going to go to the government resource room. It's the GovRoom, or the Social Studies resource room. And in a ceremony, each individual in class will stand up before the class, and they will say, my name is Charlie Bucher, my name is Kayla Bauman, and I am declaring my party affiliation with fill in the blank, whatever the affiliation is, okay? So you're going to make a choice of the party, and then you're actually going to tell the class 2 to 3 issues that you are passionate about, and basically why that party is the right party for you and your issues. So you kind of have to give like a little mini speech. It's going to be done very professionally, very formally, and I want you guys to take it really seriously. It's a big moment. Then on the wall in the Social Studies resource room, there's a really long piece of ribbon that's tacked to the wall, and it represents the spectrum, the political spectrum, right? And on one end, you have one extreme, the very conservatives, and then on the other end, you have the very liberal party, okay? And you're going to take a little pin, your piece of paper, and you're going to stick your piece of paper somewhere along this line. The most conservative people will be the farthest to the right. The most liberal people will post their affiliation the farthest to the left. And then everybody else will post theirs somewhere in between, with those independents posting themselves in the middle. Every single Gov class will post like that. So by the end of the day, we will be able to see where every single kid of the 300 kids taking government right now, where every single one of them stands on the political spectrum. It's kind of a big moment for a couple of reasons. First of all, you're making this party declaration and affiliating yourself with the party. But the other reason is because from this point on, you will be associated with a party caucus, with a group of people who are associated with that party, okay? So if you associate yourself with the Republican caucus, when we return to class immediately, the Republicans will sit on one side of the room, the Democrats will sit on the other side of the room. So the seating chart will change. So everybody will have a new seat. You'll sit with your caucus. Caucuses on Monday will immediately begin to meet and discuss what issues are most important to your caucus, to your party caucus. So the Republicans will get together and the Democrats will get together. But before you can begin talking about your issues, you must choose leadership. So within each class's caucus, a caucus leader will be chosen. So in our class, the Republicans will choose a caucus leader for them. The Democrats will choose a caucus leader for them. Those people will be in charge of all the discussions, coordinating the discussions, organizing people, and then they will start keeping a track of, in those discussions, what are the issues that the Republican caucus believes are the most important issues, what are the issues that the Republican caucus or Democratic caucus believe are the most important issues. So both sides, okay? Those leaders then will have to give approval to anyone in their caucus for the choice that they make for the issues that they want to declare. And we're going to talk about issue declaration in just a second. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but they'll have a role to play in that issue declaration as well. So that is what will happen, and we'll spend the rest of class really focused on coming up with issues, generating issues and ideas about for your caucuses. And then by the end of that class, all of you, if you look again, let's look at the calendar. The next big date on this calendar is a D-Day, October 2nd. So D-Day, October 2nd, right here. Okay. So on that day, that is called the Preliminary Issue Declaration Day. Every single person will need to have an issue that they are going to begin to work on in the bill writing process. So in a little while, you guys are going to start brainstorming some issues. There are all kinds of issues, like issues facing, the federal government, issues facing individuals, issues facing state government. But you guys are going to choose, in partners, you're going to choose the issue that you feel most passionately about and that your caucus needs someone to begin researching and potentially writing a bill about. So on that issue declaration day, you're going to show up and go to the gov room, and you're going to hand in the issue that you are hoping to write your bill about, okay? So let's say, for example, that you decide you want to write your bill about, your caucus decides. So you're the Democratic caucus, and you've decided that you guys want to write a bill about affordable health care, that you want to expand health care, make health care a federally run program, something like that. You're going to write a bill about something that would be more of a Democratic bill. So you would have to come in the morning, and you would have to line up, and you would have to submit that preliminary issue to the Rules Committee. You can see the Rules Committee has a meeting that day. They'll be there collecting those preliminary issue signups. But if someone is in line ahead of you and they choose that issue ahead of you, so let's say somebody from my second block decided to come in and they're already signed up for a health care bill, then you can't sign up for that issue. Or in a better case, let's say that your party decides that you're going to write, or your issue is going to be legalization of marijuana. Well, if somebody else has already signed up for that, you won't get to do that issue. That doesn't maybe sound like a big deal to you right now, but this is a long-term project that you guys are going to be working on. You're going to be writing bills. You're going to want to write about something that's interesting to you, that you care about. So you have an incentive to actually get in there and try to get the issue that you want and sign up for it. So it can be kind of competitive. So brace yourself that sometimes kids are going to line up early. The official sign up doesn't start until 7:45. But last year, kids were signed up. Some kids were signed up 45 minutes before that. 7 o'clock, people were waiting in line. There was a line all the way down the social studies hallway, which for some of you seems like, what? Who would do that? But, There are lots of kids in this. There's 300 kids in this Gov class this semester, and there are lots of kids who are into it. And you know some of them are in your classes. So kind of just keep in mind that you want to think about, am I going to get the issue that I want? And if I'm not aggressive, I might not get the issue I want. Now, some of you might be like, I don't care. I'll write whatever you need me to write. And that's good. That's good to be flexible. But if you feel strongly, you might want to just keep that in mind, that on the 2nd, you want to come in and sign up early. We'll talk about this more on Monday, and I'll actually walk you guys through the process of your caucuses deciding on which issues are going to be put forward and who's going to go, but you're going to do it in pairs. So keep in mind that 2 people, so if your caucus has 9 people in it, then you're going to have 3 different topics. 4, excuse me, good math, Miss Anderson. You're going to have 4 different topics, and maybe you'll have, or 5. You might have one person who's working alone, or you might have a group of 3. But you'll have, groups of 2, and only in rare cases groups of 3. And 2 people sign up for 1 issue. So you'll decide who's signing up for what issue in your caucuses on Monday, but you have to make that decision on Monday so that on Wednesday you're ready to go. And then we'll have class on Wednesday and we'll take a look at, okay, who's signed up for what issues across all of the classes. And if anybody didn't get signed up in the morning, so let's say you came in and you wanted legalization of marijuana and it was already taken, it's important that you think about having a backup. So plan for a backup issue. But if you didn't get either of the issues you had as a backup or whatever, or let's say you forgot to come in or just weren't motivated to come in, you can still sign up in class, but you're just going to have to take what's left over. So, okay, and then the last thing I want to talk about on the calendar, I know this is going really long, but just bear with me, guys, is this last item here, the elections. So you can see between the 27th and the 18th of October, we have parties declared. And what that means is that people are going to start campaigning for office. Keep in mind that the Speaker of the House must come from the majority party. We'll know who the majority party is on Monday. So by the end of the day on Monday, if we know that the majority party is the Democrats, that means that nobody who's a Republican can run for Speaker of the House. But if you're a minority, you can run for the minority whip or the minority leader. But we also need a majority leader. And from within the majority party, the Speaker of the House is selected. So politicking between now and Monday to see who's going to sign up for which caucus is not something that I would say is unheard of. So just kind of keep that in mind too. Trying to get your people and your party into power is also going to be pretty important. But on the 18th, you guys will vote for those leadership positions, which means that between the 27th and the 18th, people who want those positions will really have to begin considering campaigning. And because there's 300 people. So talk to Adam Yasel, who's the president this year. He was the Speaker of the House last year, and he can give you some sort of ideas about how it works and what he thought was successful for him. And I would love to see a diverse group of kids run for offices. I want to see diversity. Let's get a lot of different kids thinking about taking some of these leadership roles. So, okay, that's the end of the calendar. That was really long. Again, if you have more questions, you can ask me when you see me, but hopefully it's all clear. Okay, good luck. I'll see you in a little bit to talk about post-large group discussion. Okay.